RGB and RGB fans have been all the rave now for what, a couple years, and if you don't have RGB, like myself, you are not part of the PC master race in some people's eyes. So I am fully aware that not everybody has the money to spend on getting RGB fans, a motherboard that has an RGB header in it, or if it doesn't, then buy a controller with the RGB fans. But today we found a quality, affordable option for anybody to incorporate RGB fans into their system. So I ordered these about a week ago on Amazon. I purchased them for $35. We're looking at the GIM RGB case fans. So I'm just gonna tear into the box here. I'm not gonna do like some cute little unboxing, you know, unwrap every little piece. No, let's get into this and get to the good stuff. How do they work? How do they look, more importantly? So when we first open the box, we see a controller. This is how you actually control the RGB and the different color schemes. So you get the controller with 6 fan slots, 3 on each side, powered by a 15-pin SATA connector to your power supply, and then you get the 3 fans. Also the screws, obviously. That's common sense. So my first impressions are pretty good. They feel like very sturdy fans. The blades are pretty good. They don't seem too flexible at all. The bearing is pretty nice. And then you have these padded little noise suppressors on each corner where it screws in. Here we have a nice long cable. It has its own proprietary 6-pin plug-in for this specific controller, but that's alright because it comes with the fans. So you can get 2 packs of these for $70 if you wanted to fill up the controller, and then it could all be controlled by one remote. And for 6 RGB fans of this quality, for $70, I'm pretty sure that's a good deal. So let's talk about the specs and some important stuff here. These are 120mm fans with about 300 different RGB options. The bearing they're using is a hydro bearing. The noise is 23.5 decibels, so not too loud at all. So don't worry, I'll make sure to do a very scientific test to see the airflow on these. But the airflow is 33 cubic feet per minute, and the fan speed is plus or minus 1200 RPMs. Now these are not PWM fans, they plug in straight to the power supply, so they are running at full power all the time. But I have tested them already and they are not loud at all. When I put my side panel back on, they are completely quiet and it doesn't sound like a jet engine is just alive and well living inside your computer case. So now you have those specs, and if you're not familiar, one of the most popular options for RGB fans are the CORSAIR QL120s. They are PWM fans and the controller on that is very nice, and those are definitely quality fans, but not everybody can afford those, obviously. So a 3-pack of the CORSAIR QL120 RGB fans, it varies in price a little bit because they do go on sale every once in a while, but you're going to be finding them at about $120 to $140. So how do they compare in specs? CORSAIR QL120s push 41 cubic feet per minute of airflow, they have a 26 decibel rating, and the RPMs are from 500 to 1500. So for $90 to sometimes $100 cheaper, these GIM RGB fans, although they're not PWM and they don't plug into the RGB header of a motherboard, the specs match up extremely well to the Corsairs. I think this is definitely one of the best budget fans I've ever seen and ever tested myself. What really matters is how do they perform inside of a case, how do they cool down the case, and how does the LEDs actually look? Let's take a peek. You know, I'm no scientist, but I put my hand in front of the fans. They felt pretty good. But, you know, here's a piece of paper. Let's see how it looks. Not bad at all. What else can we throw in front of it? Can it roll an apple? The apple's heavy. Oh my gosh, it did. No, it cannot roll an apple, obviously. But so now, let's take the old non-RGB ones out of my case and throw in these bad boys. I'm super excited. I've been wanting to throw these in since they came in the mail. Let's do it. So I think the 3 fans that I'm going to replace are the 2 intake in the front and then the 1 exhaust fan in the back. I keep my PC kind of tilted like this, so these are the real ones you're going to see. I'll keep this one on and I'll keep the exhaust on top on. So while I'm at it, I'm gonna go give my dust fan filter a little cleaning quick. All right, the fans are installed, the controller is mounted on the back, everything's plugged in. I tested it, it works good, so let's see how it looks. I gotta say so myself, definitely a huge upgrade to my system. I am super happy with it. My case, my whole setup was pretty dull beforehand, but $35 later and we're in business. Now they're in the case, and I think they look really nice. I think it brings a whole new look to my case, and for $35, I don't know how you can improve on these at all. You have a ton of RGB functions, the LEDs are nice and bright, the fans are nice and powerful, all the while being quiet. So if you guys are interested in getting some of these fans, I think they're gonna sell like hotcakes. Ed from TechSource actually used them in his video, is where I got the idea from. And from his, he didn't really touch on them at all. He just said he bought them for cheap and he threw them in, and I was like, oh my gosh, these look amazing in the video. So I'm gonna have to get my hands on these myself. As in a previous video by Jay's 2 Cents, he made a video on some RGB budget fans, which were also nice quality, and they flew off the shelves like crazy. So I'll link down below on Amazon where to buy these fans. And that's it for this. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.